Now, oddly enough, even if you haven't re-recruited Twilight, she'll just randomly show up here anyway. And, of course, the characters who leave behind will show up, but, yeah, Twilight will just randomly show up for some reason. Well, because she's a big part of the story, the ending, but... yeah, because Twilight needs to lead us out, apparently. You mean every pony! One last fix, Drakey! One last fix! Oh. Well then! That's not good. Yeah, we've already established that, Celestia. Why? With the last of my strength, I'll lead the way. One last time. And thus, they escape. With happy music playing for some reason, even though it's kind of like a Metroid type escape and all that, but... Now, depending on how many characters you re-recruited, this ending will change a little bit. I mean, not just because you'll get sort of a little... it'll kind of show you, like, the hometown of a character that you don't have with you, but some of the endings for certain characters will change slightly, because other characters have a relation, like, to their particular ending. Like, I've heard that if you don't have AJ or Cyan with you, then it will, like, change some part of the ending, but I don't think he's part of, or, well, she in this case, is part of any of the other characters' endings here. Yeah, not having Luna and Rarity, I know those ones for sure make a big difference, but I haven't seen what those look like. But obviously the three characters that must come are part of pretty much all of these, so... I do know machines! Too bad they couldn't change it so that Apple Bloom was right there, but, well, they can't really make that connection. I mean, they can't really change that too well for this part. I mean, I guess he could change, like, that part right there where it says, like, Setzer Gabbiani and all that, but that was appropriate. Everyone wanted that to stay. Because they are playing those roles. I didn't take you for much of a gambler, Rainbow Dash. It's like, yeah, after the fact, you say. That wasn't going with your gut, that was going with your coin! And it could have been the double-headed coin for all we know. Yeah, we get a rehash of everyone's themes, for the most part. Yeah, if you don't have Luna, then this scene is a little different, but I'm not sure exactly how... Oh yeah, and Flash Sentry, he's the other big one. If you don't have him yet, the Cadence's ending changes a bit. Is that supposed to be pronounced Renee? Is it Sabin Renee Figaro? Or Zabin Sabin? I still haven't figured out how to pronounce his name precisely. Has it? It has 4 now! And maybe technically 5 if Cadence's kid counts. Because being an Alicorn automatically makes you a princess, apparently. Well, except for that guy who's in Lost Pegasus, but... or various other random Alicorns that are probably mistakes. As far as the show staff goes. like that theme. We don't get to hear that one very often either. I kind of imagine that your hair would have been grabbing the crane rather than the other way around, Pinky. It's just the way it would be. And in Apple Bloom, I don't know how this part's changed at all. I'm sure it's not going to seem terribly appropriate if it hasn't changed, all things considered. I do like this theme. Because Apple Bloom doesn't come across as the brute force type, so... Karate lessons? What karate lessons? That seems a bit more than karate, Apple Bloom. Besides, you didn't do too well with the karate lessons as far as I recall. Love this theme. It seems so appropriate for Trixie, too. Just the music itself. Just fly! You both have wings! How do you know they had to be pressed simultaneously? I love the fact that she even blinks. So, is Trixie gonna be okay? Love this theme. Don't get to hear it very often. Is that a cat? It's like, what way? I love the fact that she's riding the boulder. That does seem like a very Scoot thing to do. And throwing princesses around, of course, Scootaloo. Ah, the music from the Opera House. I love that song. It's a great part of the game, too. Celeste Sherry, I think. I know I've seen what this looks like without, well, not Flash specifically, but Locke. But I completely forgot what happens. Was that ribbon really so important? It could have at least been something that was a keepsake of Shining Armor. Because we didn't really establish the ribbon belonging to Flash in this game, so... Ah, you saved this one, did you, Flash? Say, wasn't hers yeah, hers was originally a wine glass, so you changed that. Nice touch. The wine glass with the pendant that doesn't really have any purpose anywhere in the game, but... Oh. By the way, this is supposed to be the original, like, Twilight G1 Twilight, not Twilight Velvet or whatever her... Well, she doesn't really have an official name, but... Yeah, not Twilight's other mom, who I think is actually supposed to be dead before the game begins anyway. So... Or before her dad met this Twilight, that is. Well, I guess it was a little easier to change some parts of the ending, wasn't it? Considering you changed that last part with the book. It's like, Rarity, don't trip! Oh, she did trip. Don't make me look hideous! But isn't anything you draw on canvas come to life? Yep, Fluttershy, who throws things in order to protect herself. I'm kind of surprised I didn't run out of tack stars, but I didn't actually use throw throughout the dungeon as much as I was expecting to. Now, in the original game, it's basically implied that Shadow stays here and dies. But in Pony Fantasy also did a thing where Dash came back and rescued her. Because apparently Fluttershy was just going to let herself die. Because I guess she killed too many animals or something like that along the journey. But I guess having her normal dad wouldn't really be appropriate, considering that her normal dad is even more shy than she is. Oh! You made this Rarity instead of Twilight, huh? Oh, I like that. Yeah, the wine glass is a little bit more appropriate to her, I suppose. What was Strago's in the first place? I kind of forget now. Don't make me get angry. I'm quite ugly when I'm angry, and I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't want ponies to see me like that. Yeah, I don't remember what represents Strago now off the top of my head. Huh. Oh well. And me, GW fan. Haha. Anyway, continuing the ending, where Fluttershy will not appear, but that sprite still looks a little goofy to me, but whatever. There's only so much you can do with these kind of sprites, so... I think Trixie and Apple Bloom like all the way in the back. Like, it's gonna pan back there eventually, and I think they're both just standing way in the back of the airship. Twi! Pull up! Use your magic! Teleport! Before it's too late! Where are you kids anyway? There's nothing like this in the world anymore. Yeah, give birth with all these kids watching. They'll surely know what to do. Oh, well, I guess technically Fluttershy flew out of there, so... What? A little longer. It's like, you're not Twilight. You're not Twilight! Oh. She was right behind me all along. Yeah, you literally swooped in and saved me, just like in episode 2. Wasn't the first one, sorry. And now the real credits for, well, the rest of the original game and all that. 2.0. It's a nice change, everything. I was a little bummed about the lack of permanent stat boost from the Espers at first, but I do like how it kind of forces you to change your tactics a little bit. I mean, I guess we are a little bit more powerful overall, like, just, I mean, as we start, but I think it balances out fairly well. I mean, we do need equipment to really keep us alive for some stuff, and yeah, I wasn't over-leveled for no reason, just because I could. I knew that the last couple fights were gonna have us with some really high, like, damaging moves that we can't really do anything about there. Particularly with Discord and Pudding Head. So, yeah, I wasn't just getting those level ups for no good reason. I didn't see, yeah, even though it might have seemed like I was over-leveled there, but yeah, it was kind of necessary, even if it was pure, mainly because I was able to bring Cadence with me to the Floating Continent and all that, if that was actually the main reason. Huh, I don't remember this scene with the boat there. Wow, I'm forgetting all kinds of things if this is the same as the original, but anyway. I do love this game. It's so much fun. Like, original, Pony, Philly, both versions. I do love this game. But, yeah, this is a nice improvement on the original, I think, with the strategies and what have you. It kind of sucks that we don't have more bosses in the final dungeon, like to replace the 2 rats or anything, because it feels so weirdly bare without those guys, but I don't think there'd be any incentive to fight those unless they actually gave you, like, Cake, which was originally going to be there, but wasn't for some reason, so, Anyway, I'm not even sure what else to really say there, but I know Final Fantasy VI is actually weirdly not popular in Japan, crazy as it may be. It was more of a phenomenon here in North America, where it frequently hits #1 favorite among all Final Fantasies, even over Final Fantasy VII. But it was apparently considered to be something of like a failure, as it were, in Japan. That's just kind of why it doesn't really get the whole remake treatment like so many of the others do. I mean, yeah, it got the Game Boy Advance version, which even has like a extra like post-game dungeon, and I think at least 2 more Espers and some like 3 or so more spells, but yeah, other than that, this game has been kind of ignored, sadly. I mean, I was always hoping maybe there'd be like a 3D remake someday, like Final Fantasy IV and 3 got, but well, this one and Final Fantasy V haven't gotten a whole lot of attention besides their Game Boy Advance versions and their god-awful iOS versions that are also the versions that are on Steam. Ugh. But, well, at least the Final Fantasy VI version on Steam has a patch that gives you the original Super NES graphics, which I don't think the Final Fantasy V one does, but oh well. But yeah, this game doesn't get much love in Japan, unfortunately, but does get here, and I certainly am glad that it was remade, even not just once but twice. I'm dreading if there's ever a 3.0, because if I have to do this again, especially if it happens really soon, or like, well, maybe not soon, but like within like a year or 2, I probably will do this more as a side LP in that case, since, I mean, I've done this game, well, Fairly Fantasy twice, and this type of mod 3 times now. So, as much as I love the game, I don't want to oversaturate with it. I mean, dang. There's other things I definitely want to do, and I have been busy lately getting some other things arranged so that I can expand my library of my choices, as it were, which I'll get to in a update video eventually, but yeah, in the meantime, we also get this kind of corny looking part. I gotta admit. Well, not that part, but What, you were in the other room while she was having a baby with all the kids in there? My mother is going to drive me crazy. I just know it. Speaking as Sunburst there. I guess this is probably where they're or they're just flying overhead. Okay, fine. Oh, now you guys are finally rebuilding that house a whole year later. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna ignore you. Even though the whatever they were talking about actually seemed appropriate back there. I think I stepped on that this time, didn't I? I think I showed that. Why am I getting this? Come on! Stop screwing with the music, game. Darn it! Oh well. I think we get to see some of the various towns and, well, show that we're flying over them. It's like, yeah, victory! Now we gotta probably cast a spell or something to get the world back in whack, but... yeah, this part. That still looks a little goofy too, more so than the other sprite does. Birds! Yay! Did some of the world get restored already, or what? Because I'm pretty sure that place isn't there anymore, unless... that place for sure isn't there anymore. But maybe it was restored or something. Including Everfree, for that matter. Or maybe that little healing pond is still in that little part of the dinosaur forest there, who knows? Yeah, this is the part where we'll very, very briefly get to see Trixie and Bloom, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, all the way in the back, just barely. The end. But not quite the end of the LP just yet. Got one more thing that I'm aware of, at least, that I need to do, which is fight a super boss. Next time on Let's Play Philly Fantasy VI version 2.0. Arrivederci.